So, this is a video that I wish I didn't have to make. Okay, so Blu-ray is no longer with us. Now, if you've seen the collection video, you may have noticed that he was not in that video. And truth be told, he has passed away for a little bit now, but it's just been hard for me to be able to do this video and share this with you guys. I kind of needed some time to try to wrap my head around it and try to figure out exactly what went wrong. I don't believe his setup is the issue, but to be completely honest at this point, I really don't know what was the reason why he passed. He seemed to be doing just fine. Our pretty much regular routine was that his food dishes here in this corner, and when I would get home from work, typically he'd be somewhere in this area of the tank, waiting to be fed. Now the backside, of course, it's a little bit disturbed now, but I've got several large pieces of cork flats, and that plant is all back there in that corner, and that corner kind of served as his hides, but more like the humid area of the cage. So he did have a place to go hide and whatnot when he needed to, if he felt that way, but most of the time he was out, usually somewhere here in front of the cage. He didn't really care too much to be picked up, but he did like to sit out front and kind of watch the comings and goings of the room. So I fed him, and he had to have ate because the food is gone. And for the next couple days, I really didn't see him, but I kind of noticed that he was starting to shed some skin, and often what that entails is him retreating back to the back corner, and because he's got the cork flats to, one, rub on to help pull that skin off, and two, it's more humid back there, so that also aids in removing the shed skin. But usually, even if that's the case, he's you still see him coming and going, like walking around and stuff back there. But I really didn't think much of it. I mean, hindsight now, it was obviously the red flag, but he wasn't out front. I just assumed he was back there taking care of his shedding business. And then I came home, and there was a foul smell in the room, and my initial thought was that one of the snakes must have regurgitated, and what I'm smelling is a mouse that's rotting. So I looked all the snake cages. Everybody was good. Nobody even had any poop in their cage. I mean, the cages were good. And then I happened to notice that Blu-ray still wasn't out, and by this time he should have been. It was a few days later. He definitely should have been, at least going on past experiences. So that's when I got a little worried, and as soon as I lifted the lid on his cage, I definitely knew the worst had happened. And I found him coiled up in the back corner of his cage, which has really got me puzzled because, like I said, he normally hangs out here in front, but for whatever reason, he retreated to the back corner, and that's where he passed on. I guess that's part of the biggest puzzle, is why he went back there. And there was nothing I could really do as far as to really examine him. Like I said, he between the last time I fed him and to the time I found him, we're talking about 2 or 3 days. So I'm completely at a loss as to why. I wish I had those answers. I mean, not only so I know how to correct things, but also to help you guys, so that way you guys don't have this situation. But I don't have those answers. I do not know what went wrong here. I pay attention to all the cues, as far as the heat, humidity, things like that. He was an active lizard. So, and to be completely honest, he never really went back to that corner except for like in shed time. And again, that was to, because the way I laid those cork flats, so that way he had just enough room that he could walk underneath there, but there wasn't really a whole lot of space, so that way he felt comfortable if he needed a spot to retreat to. And the only time I really known him to really utilize it is during shedding time. Even if I made him mad by picking him up and having him out, when I would go to return him, yeah, he would run back there, but within a couple minutes he'd be back out, and we'd be all good again. So that's really puzzling to me that for whatever reason he retreated back there, and that's where he stayed. So that is, I just felt like I needed to share this with you guys, and it's definitely difficult. Especially when you don't have answers. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this cage. I'm definitely not going to purchase another blue tongue skink, at least not for a while, till I kind of find some clarity as to what happened here, so that way the events don't repeat themselves. And I'm not sure when that will be. So yeah, that's what this video is about, is saying goodbye to Blu-ray.